Everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Welcome to another Mystery Mystic reading. This is part 2 of the opening oracle reading for Asha Degree's disappearance. Check out part 1 because I've time-stamped where I gave background information to her case and also what's been happening as of like September 2024 in her case. Okay, so check that out if you want some more details as to what happened, what transpired. The first deck we're working with right now is the Defining Characteristics Oracle. It is a deck that I've made. It is available for sale if you want it, as is my Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle deck. We're looking for defining characteristics surrounding the person or persons in the know or surrounding this case who caused Asha's disappearance. So far we've got Indigenous, which is interesting. Latino or Latina, it could be someone who has in their name, you know, their namesake. It could have a Latin type of name. It's Indigenous, could be someone who has that lineage in their background. Maybe that's not necessarily how they identify today, but maybe in their background. Also, when we get the Indigenous card, it can mean someone who is native to that area, very close to Asha, okay? We also have young so far. Someone who is young might still be with us, living, who has information, key information. Straight hair. Young is standing out to me. I'll tell you why in a moment. Somebody with poor hygiene or unkempt, who's in the know or involved. Long hair. White or gray hair. Getting multiple people. Left hand dominant. Okay. All right, so we'll stop there for now. We don't need too many cards. I've talked about this one, Indigenous. Latino or Latina. Someone with that ancestry or their namesake. Something about their name. We have young. One of the persons in the know or involved was young at the time. I do get a sense that there's a couple and we know that the suspects that were named in, by police as suspects recently is a married man, an older couple. And so there's that. Sometimes I'm just looking at like, okay, is there 1, 2 people depicted in the cards? We have straight hair, straight long hair, because we got long hair. Multiple people could have long hair, had long hair then, maybe they cut it, or vice versa. They had short hair, grew it out, had long hair, cut it, etc. Could be something like that. One of the parties had poor hygiene, was known to have poor hygiene, or was noticeably unkempt before or just after her disappearance. Sometimes when this card comes up, it can represent somebody's appearance really going downhill over the days, weeks, months, years after the crime because of their deteriorating mental and health state, dealing with the karmic blowback of what they've done, right? However, it could be that this one of the persons involved is known for having poor hygiene or being an unkempt kind of person. Okay. I do get a sense that police are on the right track, that there are multiple people in the know. That's why we're picking up on different energies here. Somebody who was older, someone who's younger. I say that because we got the white or gray hair, and then we've got a young person card. Now, you can be young and have gray and white hair at a young age, for sure. I've known people who that has happened. I've known people who were 12 years old and who had gray hair. I was like, whoa. No, this is telling me 2 different people. Somebody in the know involved, a major player, could be left hand dominant. Okay. Or left-brained. But I'm sensing left-hand dominant is what's coming through. All right. I'll be right back. All right, friends. Now we are at the Divine Crime Oracle. Got it all shuffled. So we're just looking for maybe clues on where she may be with this deck, or what may have happened to her, or key months. We got April. That is a time of Taurus energy, late April at least. 160 kilometers to 200 kilometers. We know this is close to home, so that could represent the female victim. This card can represent where somebody may have moved out of town, or moved the distance, or maybe even where she was moved. Like she's been moved from where she originally lost her life. We have break and enter. Break and enter. Opportunity, random, impulse. Okay. Opportunity. Awaiting rescue, delays. That makes sense for what we got with part 1. Devil in disguise, trickster, manipulator, hiding in the shadows. Whoa. Okay. I'll zoom in just a moment. I just like to get the cards on the table. Look. Hitchhiking picked up. Whoa. Okay. East. Ran over, hit and run, hit by vehicle. Interesting. We saw that dent on the left front of that vehicle, that green car, didn't we? In water, drowning, submerged. Oh no. Algae, swamp, reeds. So in some body of water. 0 to 15 kilometers. Okay. Unknown to police, not in the system, clean record. Additional messages, Spirit. Justice. Oh, this is a welcome sight. Months. Interesting. Theft, thief, robber. Could be somebody's character. Legal, court, documents, eyewitness statement. Check out part 1. I talk a lot about that with the eye card of the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle reading that I did at the very start of part 1. Okay. We have cave, inside, underground, and money. Okay, we're going to stop here. Okay, we could probably go on and on. We're going to stop, and I'm going to bring this a little tighter so we can really get in there. Not too tight. Okay. All right. Month of April is of significance. It could be in the past, something of significance surrounding the perp, such as their birthday, such as a death date, such as something of significance, April. Or in the future, it could be something happening in the future with the month of April. 160 kilometers to 200 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles. I apologize if someone knows. If you could be so kind as to put that in the comments, great. If not, that's all right. We can Google. This is next to the female victim card. So the female victim could be like, okay, she's been moved. And sometimes it could be with this this card can speak to the perp or someone, a key witness has moved out of the area, moved 160 kilometers to 200 kilometers outside of the area. It could be key evidence outside in this range, or it could be that the radius of that where they found key evidence surrounding what happened to Asha, like this radius, like somebody doing a full circle. Like, okay, I took her here, I go back and forth. You know how you could do circular trips, right? Round trip. That could be what this is speaking to as well, right? The female victim, this is affirming to us that she, in fact, is a victim of foul play. All right. My apologies, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Break and enter. When I see this card, and this goes with this opportunity, random, and impulse, it may have been planned that somebody was planning on doing something to a victim, but the opportunity presented itself when they saw Asha. Okay, and that's what I'm saying here. Like somebody could stake out something when they're getting ready to break in, right? They're getting ready to break into someone's home. They randomly picked a home to victimize and burglarize, but, you know, it was an opportunity, a crime of opportunity in a sense. And we see that here with the opportunity, random, and impulse. Somebody also has an impulsive nature surrounding, you know, what happened to her. It could also speak to, well, I don't know. I don't think Asha impulsively left. I also talk about why she left her home in part 1, in case you're watching this video first. We have awaiting rescue and delays. Both apply. In part 1, I mentioned that when she finally was willing to get in the car with the person who is responsible for her, what happened to her, she was desperate. One of the cards that jumped in part 1 was desperation. She was desperate to get up out of the elements, and she saw something that she trusted. It was the vehicle itself, and it was a familiar face, a youthful face, a young face that made her feel like this could be safe. So that's what I see here with this card. But also delays. There's been a lot of delays in this in the handling of the investigation, not for lack of trying, but I just feel like there's a lot of stonewalling that may have initially happened in the beginning of investigating this case that now is no longer going to be the case. I mean, DNA has opened this wide open, but there's additional evidence, and we'll talk more about that in a moment, that police have been sitting on, or that will also be coming out later that they had, but they couldn't quite connect the dots until they got that DNA. And now they're able to connect a lot of circumstantial evidence together, plus with witness statements. We'll talk about that in a moment. We have here devil in disguise, trickster, manipulator, hiding in the shadows. This is what I'm talking about. Somebody was like, oh, I'm going to seize the opportunity. Devil in disguise, manipulator, trickster, hiding in the shadows. This could be something that was starting. This is why in part 1, they get the sense that card about look at other crimes in the area in Shelby, North Carolina, before, like right around when Asha disappeared and then thereafter, and notice some patterns of this kind of energy surrounding female victims. We have here hitchhiking, picked up. I don't think Asha wasn't hitchhiking. But what happened was the weather got too bad and she saw something that felt safe and she was picked up. Wow. The lights might go off because there is dark clouds and it's raining. You probably can't hear the rain, but east. She could have been taken east. There's somebody who lives in the east. She could be just east of where they are looking, east in somebody's backyard, east. You know, east is of significance to this case, the direction of east. Now, this card, ran over, hit and run, and hit by a vehicle. This could be potentially an excuse or what people use as a defense, or what people say that they think happened to her, that she was just simply hit. But no, there was something more. Yeah, she could have been hit to kind of, later after the fact, or maybe it was an intention to hit her if need be, or maybe a subsequent victim could have been hit. Like there could be evidence of somebody who may have been walking along that same route, may have encountered a vehicle, could have even been struck. It may not just be Asha. Okay, just trying to piece it all together here. In water, drowning, submerged. Somebody could be drowning in the truth of what happened, metaphorically speaking. Also, it could symbolize that she could have been partially submerged. She could have also drowned on something, fluids. Oh gosh, I don't even want to go there. I noticed that Spirit has not really given us a lot of cards on what could have happened to her yet. It's almost like I'm getting a sense from Spirit wanting to protect us. We will see as the tarot readings unfold if Spirit releases a bit more about what happened to her. But sometimes, the rejection of that information is our protection. Myself, the reader, those who come to watch it, loved ones who see it later down the line, this reading or video, because they're like searching for information. This video pops up. Sometimes Spirit is like, you all are not ready. Could be that she was drowned. Could be. Possibly. But you can think of all the different possibilities of what could cause the sensation of drowning, right? All right. We have here, though, next to algae, swamp, reeds. Is there a body of water near that little area of near the area where they found the car, or where they found her backpack, or where they found key evidence of where, her possessions are? Is there a swamp area around there? That would be of interest to check out, especially if it's east of somewhere. 0 to 15 kilometers. What happened to her happened close to home. Eventually, she may have been moved, or key evidence or a witness may have been moved to 160 kilometers, or circular motion, round trips. But ultimately, what happened to her, everything was close to home. Some people may be like, well, she was trafficked. Maybe somebody came from out of town and did this. I could see someone trying to raise a defense later down the line. Oh, maybe someone out of town did this, or the person who's deceased, did this. But just understand that who is responsible, lived, owned property. There's evidence that they are close to her. 0 to 15 kilometers. Somebody who's a key witness or in the know or involved in her disappearance and very well possibly her death is unknown to police, or not in the system, or has a clean record. There's somebody who has a record, and then there's somebody or somebodies who has a clean record or not in the system. But don't worry, folks. Justice is coming. Justice is coming in terms of getting more answers, understanding what police actually have that has not been revealed yet to the public. A key witness is really grappling right now in the past months and in the coming months after this big break on revealing key information to really break it all down. Months could be months from now that I'm recording this reading. I'm recording this as of September 29th, 2024, that we see justice. Well, I do get a strong sense that her family will finally get the answers that they so deserve and so need to really continue forth with their grieving process. Because even with finding out the answers, the grieving still happens, right? It's still an ongoing process, probably till the day that they pass on themselves. The community at large, in that, in Shelby also, needing to see this justice. There's something important because somebody had money. And for the longest time, money offered protection. But it's no longer going to be able to do that because people are now wanting what? Justice. When do we want it? Now. So I'm not quite sure because we got I knew what the break and enter card was telling me, but I'm not quite sure about this. Theft, thief, or robber. Somebody could be a known like shyster or known for taking something that don't belong to them. Maybe they have a reputation in the community. Somebody key involved in this disappearance has a reputation of being a thief. Robber or mouse ceasing the opportunity that they, it's like, oh, this is a golden opportunity. This is what we talked about. This is what we had hoped that would happen. And here it is. It happened. Wow. Legal, court, documents, eyewitness, statement. This is also an encouraging sign about the legal process unfolding and happening. It's like, yes, it's been 24 years, but we can hope, right? It looks like we've got an eyewitness statement that may be coming forth that can really break it all down. Put the pieces together along with the DNA evidence. There's some key documents, court documents coming down the pike that's going to really open everybody's eyes up to the crime itself and the cover-up that ensued for so many years. That was a cover-up underground, keeping things dark and things now having to come to light. I suppose it could be like a nearby cave, a landmark. I don't know if they have caves or hollows or anything like that in that area like they do in some parts of the South, but it could be near a swampy area that is known for having caves or hollows, is what I will say for, reference, but close. In terms of more, like where she may have perished or where she may, like there could be other evidence, 0 to 15 kilometers near a swamp, and some sort of hollow area or cave. And we talked about the money card. Okay. So yeah, folks, that's what we have. I don't feel a sense to pull any other cards at this point. I mean, I'll pull some from the trace evidence just to wrap it up here. It's really, I think we've got what we need before we head into the Tarot and Oracle questions. Stay tuned for that. That's coming up. They will be shorter videos, but it'll be easier to navigate because we'll have a playlist devoted to little Asha's case. She wouldn't be little today, she'd be grown today, but yeah. Let's see if these cards come up with anything that it's worth sharing. Okay. All right. We've got signs. Maybe even a sign where she's a sign. Spirit's trying to tell me something. A sign where her, like, how like the billboard is, could be very close to where she's at. 0 to 15 kilometers near a hollow or a cave. Signs. Also, the signs are coming, and those who are very empathic, keep a lookout. In the coming months ahead, we're going to get signs that we're going to get a real move towards justice. There could also be, could be signaling there were signs to the parents way back when that there was something brewing with this family who might be responsible allegedly. The person or persons who are responsible. We have paperwork. There's a ton of paperwork and evidence that will be coming out in discovery down the line. Hopefully we get to see that in our lifetime at the pace that they're going. I'm sensing that in the coming months ahead, we're going to hear a lot more to come. We'll talk more about that in the tarot readings, the subsequent tarot readings I do for this series for Asha. We have father, male figure, somebody who was a father at the time or someone who's a father now, or a key role in this whole situation allegedly is that they are a father or acted like a father figure. Crime scene, crime scene, crime scene. Spirit wants to direct us to there was a crime here. I know that we want to fantasize and hope, and I love when I'm wrong. But some people will be like, well, she could still be alive. She could be, trafficked in somewhere else. I'm sensing because we've gotten multiple cards indicating a crime occurred, female victim, crime scene. We've been getting that in the other part 1. That tells us what we need to know. Crime scene is near. spine. They've been doing surveillance. They have been and they will be doing surveillance on some folks who had their DNA tied and watching their behavior now that this big break has come. Okay? Now that this big break, part of the evidence that we'll hear later down the line is who was talking to who after the green car was towed from the property. Okay? That's what this is talking about. Finally, footprints. All law enforcement's got the footprints. Literal footprints, digital footprints, all the footprints, paperwork footprints. There's evidence here. It may have looked like this was never going to be solved. I know it. When I first heard about this case, I questioned, like, will this ever be solved? And I think that there was a part of me that shied away from doing Asha's reading because I didn't want that to hold on to that disappointment. But now that this has happened, I'm feeling hopeful, and I hope you all are feeling hopeful as well. Let's set that intention today, right here, right now, that justice will be served. At the very least, answers will come to her family and to the community. Okay? All right, friends, I'm going to stop here. Stay tuned for the parts that deal with the tarot cards. I'm going to be using a tarot deck or two, some oracle decks, to dive further into what happened to little Asha, okay? So, and then also to explore what's to come, what's down the line. This is the latest and greatest reading surrounding Asha Degree's disappearance. Do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you know this case? What do you think so far of the cards that jumped in my readings? Have you pulled cards? What are you thinking about these latest updates? Especially those of you who have been following this case for a long time or even since day one. What do you think? Does these cards speak to anything in your research? I was very careful not to watch other readings. I was also just looking at news articles, really trying to gain what I could so I kind of know what I'm talking about when I'm doing the background information, when I'm doing the reading, but not going too far because I wanted to see what comes up and is emerging in the readings. So hearing what you all have to say would mean a lot to me. All right, friends, take very good care of yourselves. I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.